Hello, good evening, and thanks again for another edition of Ideas Exchange. Tonight, our topic is very interesting because we are looking at one of the major sources of revenue for this country. In fact, the rating agencies have classified us as a junk state, which means that it is difficult for us to even use our status to go and borrow money. As we speak, we know that a lot of people who are investors are losing confidence, and even within the business cycle, we understand many people are relocating to Togo and Cote d'Ivoire because those environments appear to be more friendly. Because Ghana needs money, every source of revenue must be guarded with jealousy. Because you and I are going to suffer if government is not able to block those loopholes. And if business is unfriendly at some of these areas, it would mean that those who have little cash and are creating business opportunities, employing people, making sure the economy is running, may fold up because their capital will be swallowed, especially in this era where the cedi is depreciating very fast. I'm sure you know that you are paying something in the name of COVID, called COVID Health Recovery Levy. It is because government must look for money to fill some gaps. As we speak, you know that from next week, September 1st, you are going to pay more for electricity and water. We all know about fuel prices, which are rising by the day, and it has its own related consequences on transportation, on goods and services, and so on and so forth. But in all this, if the revenue sources are being siphoned by individuals, or if the sources where government is supposed to generate revenue, those who are in direct business, who will make profit and for which reason government will make some little money, are also crying, then we are in trouble. So tonight we want to focus at the port. We are going there because in just the last few days, there are two interesting cases that have emerged. One is the La Bianca tax evasion case. We have not concluded on that issue because there are the controversies that are still being addressed. But what we know as a fact is that the Office of the Special Prosecutor has been able to bring back 1 million cedis that would have gone to somebody. That money has been paid back. Apart from that, just recently, we know that the national security has uncovered something that is even more frightening. The Customs Excise Division of the Ghana Revenue Authority appears to be abusing some clauses in the tax regime and are using their discretion to allow people or business partners to evade taxes. And so as late as, or maybe just recently, October 2021, National Security intercepted some loaded trucks around Fiesta Royal Hotel around Jowolu here in Accra. And that leaked document, which was shared recently or a few minutes ago on the screen, gives you the indication why the Office of the Special Prosecutor wants to go back to the port, to be specific, and look at all the confiscations that have been done and how those items which were seized left the port and how much money has come. So from seized cars to all goods and services. If you bring your goods to the port and they tell you you were not able to meet the time frame within which you could have cleared your goods, they fine you. If you cannot pay, they confiscate it, and somebody is making good money out of it. I want to share with you some revenues from the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority, and you will appreciate why you should be interested in why a few people seem to be making so much money and the state is suffering, and that is being passed on to you and I. You see from the 2020 State Ownership Report, and I'm sharing it on the screen, the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority made a profit of 112.67 million cedis. According to the official data, this was an increase of 8.05% despite the negative impact of COVID-19 pandemic on global trade and maritime transport. In fact, In 2019, GPHA's total revenue was 1.3 billion cedis. In 2020, in spite of COVID, it shot up to 1.4 billion cedis on the average. And then, according to the same report, total revenue increased by an average of 13% between 2016 and 2020. Now, what are the major sources of revenue at the port? We have operations such as charges on vehicles, vessel facilities, oil and gas services, cargo services, and so on and so forth. And that is why we are interested in speaking to people who were close to the port and the concerns they have shared on a daily basis. They are saying the tax regime is too high. Many businesses are relocating to Togo and Cote d'Ivoire, Liberia. Some of these are free ports and so on. My guest tonight, in fact, one in the studio with me right now, is Samson Asaki Awingobit. He's the we call his chamber the Exporters and Importers Association of Ghana. He is the executive secretary, very outspoken. You are welcome, and thanks for your time tonight.
Thank you very much, and good evening to yourself, and good evening to your cherished viewers.
Now, we know the challenges the country is facing.
Right.
Our CD has deteriorated very fast.
Sharply.
And you are crying. Give us an overview of business at the port in Ghana today compared to our immediate neighbors.
Well, thank you very much. Of course, business today, or businesses in the port today, are struggling. Yes, as everybody's everywhere, they are struggling. In fact, if you want to take out our duty component within the West Africa here, our importers pay the highest import duties, plus fees and charges. And so I cannot sit here with the city depreciation. It's really having an effect, a hardship toll on the business community. And again, you remember the finance minister took off 30% of the special benchmark values that was given to the business community. That alone, with the inflation and the city depreciation, has shoot up duties in our port. And I can tell you, a person who used to pay duty, let's say if you used to bring, let's say, chicken legs cutter or whatever, that you used to pay like, let's say, 33,000 or 38,000, so has shoot up to like 68,000. Even now with the current dispensation, I'm sure if you are clearing it, you should be paying like 70 to 80,000.
Almost doubled.
Yes. So all is not well. I'm not quite sure if by the end of this year, the Shippers Authority, if they want to do the analysis as they normally do, to give us the outlook of volumes of business as compared to previous year, is not going to be the same. Definitely there's going to be a deep reduction in terms of cargo turnout into this country. However, authorities continue to generate revenue. I am always saddened when I heard the media talking about importers are evading taxes, they are doing that, they are doing that. The question is, who goes into businesses not to make profit? And there's no way any importer will bring his cargo to the port and just walk there and pick the cargo without going through custom. You have to subject yourself by giving all the necessary documents, be it packing list, invoices, price that you are buying from the cargo, including freight that you paid to bring it to the country. And based on that, custom will then assess you and come out with a classification and evaluation report, which is the BOE. Then you then proceed to go and pay your duty. While you pay your duty, you have to also mind you have other state agencies responsibility to pay their fees and their charges. And so at the end of the day, you spend almost 68% to pay in terms of duty and fees and charges if you want to box them together. It is only Ghana that if you bring frozen food, tomatoes, paste, cooking oil, and other things, biscuit, and that, you are paying 35% import duty. If you go to Africa here, they are paying only 20% import duty. At the time they bring ECOWAS common external tariff, those countries went back to ECOWAS and told them they cannot. At the time, they cannot pay 35%. Till date, they are not paying 35%. But our people are paying 35%. Rice, if you go to Ivory Coast and other Benin and others, they are paying 10% import duty. Those who bring rice into this country are paying 20% import duty. At the time, ECOWAS had recommended that you should pay 10% import duty. Yet, at that, Ghana was taking 20, so they were silent on it. From 2017 all the way to this time, the period, we've been seeing fees and charges or other tax component. You go to the port today, you pay a VAT, you pay get fund on its own, you pay health insurance on its own.
We will go into that. Our topic actually has factored in all these concerns.
Thank you very much.
Port business challenges, cartel-driven or state-sponsored. Even before we go into it, what are your initial commentary on this topic? Because many people have the perception, and you touched on that briefly, that it appears the business community is only milking the average person by just deciding that because we don't have a control price regime, you do what you want and always blame it on the CD, on port charges and so on, but you are profiteering. And others are taking advantage of this rigid regime to make their own money.
It's not that. I'm sure if you go to bank today to go for loan to do businesses, I don't know, I'm sure you know about the rate at which you are going to pay. And mind you, the business people to also go to the same bank. You come back and you have projected yourself that this will be my price. Then you sleep overnight, you wake up the following day, then you've been slapped with a different rate. If you don't continue to adjust your prices, by the time you finish selling your cargo, you cannot go back again to bring goods. And so then you will be jobless. Is that what people are looking for? When I hear that people are cartel at the port, yes, I said elsewhere that it's an institution, a human institution. There is no way I will sit anywhere in the national television and knock my chest and say everybody working at the port is clean. There's definitely going to be some elements,
loopholes for
some
people.
elements that of course which you cannot guarantee. We are not saying as people port users or people at the port. However, we are doing our best to also encourage, because when they come, especially like the recent special prosecutor report, it brings embarrassment to the business community, isn't it? Because if care is not taken, one day an importer will be working somewhere and someone will take a stone, a youth who's looking for a job and did not get a job, will take a stone and stone you to death and say that you people are thieves because of people are not paying the needed revenue for the government to be able to create a new environment, or use to government can create the environment for people to do more businesses so that they too can get job to do. Because a few people are keeping the money. That's what they will say. And they are not even declaring the exact quantities or paying the exact duties they're supposed to pay to help the government. But I can tell you, you are doing business to make profit. And so we cannot sit down and allow such a thing to happen to us. For me, as I said, we are not saints in the port, but we are also doing our best. At least give us a credit. With COVID-19, with the global crisis, have you heard that they have given us tax rebate? I've just made mention of the percentages in which they are paying duties and taxes and tariff. Quite recently, about a week ago or so, I did a press conference concerning influx of wheat flour into our market. With COVID-19, Ivory Coast gave special tax rebate to their people to produce to feed them. Have you heard that food importers in this country have been given any tax rebate? Yet, we are not hungry. We are not on strike for hunger, because my people still bring the goods, and they have to find market to sell. So I can tell you, we are doing our best. That's what I can say for now.
Okay, now I've seen a report which was put together by the Ghana National Chamber of Commerce and Industries.
Okay.
In that report, they were trying to identify what could be the major reasons why it appears as if people are taking advantage of the system to evade taxes. I would want us to focus.
Which system? I can tell you.
We will focus on that shortly. But I will share on the screen what appears to be the tax regime at the port. Value added tax,
yes.
NHIL, zero rated exempt supplies for commodities like agricultural inputs, medical supplies, etc. Customs, excise duties, import duty on cost insurance free, that's EIF, which ranges between 0 and 35%, as you said. Then these affect essential social commodities, raw materials, capital goods, intermediate products, and so on. African Union import levy,
Yes.
special import levy on some imports. Then you have the processing fee, inspection fee, network charges, ECOWAS levy, EDIF levy, Ministry of Trade and Industry destination inspection fees, e-import declaration fee, special petroleum tax ranging between 15% on ex-depot price on the following: petrol, diesel, LPG, natural petroleum gas, kerosene, and so on. And then environmental excise tax. Now, in the Chamber of Commerce and Industries report, they said a lot of money is going into private and public pockets. What does that mean?
Well, I am not the originator of this report. And for that matter, I will not be the person to speak to what they have seen, and they have seen this. But honestly, let me say, that's why I said earlier that in the port there, I don't know what they saw. We are a human institution. And so someone might be bad, someone might be good. But because the fewer bad not, they use it to smear all of us. And it looks like everybody at the port is corrupt, which I'm sure if you go to the port there, you will see someone who's a very good, God-fearing person. Quite apart from that, since Asukura time, Ghanaians, tax invasion. We came to GCNet, we came to West Blue, today we are in ICOMS. All the government has taken steps to bring all this system is because to create and make sure that they correct all the measures, the loopholes. Is that not it? And we all know that at least ICOM, since ICOM came, it actually brought so much revenue to the states because they block all the loopholes. However, we are still in a human institution, isn't it? Who are the public and the private people that they are saying their monies are going into their pocket until they made mention of them? Then we can take it, pick it one by one, then we can deal with it. Because all what I know is if an importer bring his cargo to the port, you have to submit your documents. You have not even seen the one who's going to work on your document. That was why His Excellency, the Vice President, took long room from Tema and sent it to Accra, and we now have the Technical Custom Bureau Center in head office. You send your documents through BOE, the one who's doing your clarification and evaluation, you don't even know the person. The importer only comes in when the duties bill, tax bill comes, and the thing that is high. And that is as a result of the benchmark lifting value, where we are saying that I bring my cargo, I said the cargo is 100,000. Custom goes to uplift my cargo to like the cost of it to like 150,000, calculate duty based on that. Definitely, I'm a human being. I will have to go there and speak to authorities and show them documentations showing how much I actually bought the cargo, how much I actually paid my freight, and then so this is your duty that you're giving to me. I can't. That is where how many times we hear that people left their cargo at the port and they have to go through unclear cargo list, UCL, and it has been confiscated. It has been auctioned.
Yes. What do you think is actually the game plan at the port? Because the confiscations always come. They are sold lesser than what the negotiator would have even paid to customs if they had agreed with the concerns that had been raised. It is ignored. They confiscate the items, and we understand from our checks, the understanding we have is that people have established businesses where many of these confiscated goods end up because the auctioneering process is where the stealing takes place.
Yeah.
What do you know? Be frank with Ghanaians.
Okay, so point here is both NDC and MPP should bow their head in shame because they always look at the juicy aspect, the fresh cars, the reefer containers, tomatoes, cooking oil. We don't auction, by law, we're not supposed to auction general cargo. That's general cargo. From infancy, we know that they auction cars at the port. That one we know about it. But to touch on general cargo, so the one who goes to bring his frozen food, his meat, tomatoes, cooking oil, and because it has spent 21 days, some sites do not even cross 3 weeks, and it's been auctioned. When you want to go into the system or to dip, you will realize that the Jubilee House has a hand in it. The finance ministry has a hand in it. The Commissioner General Office has a hand in it. They share it to the party apparatus. So the custom officer will even be there. Then someone will bring letters and say, I'm from the presidency. I'm supposed to come and take this. I'm from the Ministry of Finance. To the extent we see Deputy Minister of Finance signing letters asking custom officer to hand over particular goods to people.
We'll go into it, but where do you come in when these things are obvious as
so the law is that if I go and bring my cargo and I'm unable to raise the duty because of is it remaining? Sometimes the person thinks that my cargo is I have goods in the market, so I've ordered goods. By the time the goods arrive, I will have finished selling what I have in stock, so that I will use that money to go and clear
what has come.
Now maybe the goods arrive and he hasn't finished selling. Maybe he also told the bank, the process leading to get money from the bank. Then it passed the 21 days. Then they said it's going to unclear cargo list. Unclear cargo list, Ghanaian, because we've not educated ourselves, it doesn't mean that it's going straight to auction. But as soon as your cargo go unclear cargo list, that's all. It's gone. You won't get it. The law says that if they should auction, they should give you the opportunity. But because custom to have the look, they don't want to whereby it look like it will be a deliberate. As Asaka will bring his goods and come and leave it there. And when they want to auction, they come around to buy it. But they end up giving it to somebody who is not even having any relationship to do with the port. All right? And that person buys. So assume I was supposed to
that is the cartel.
Yeah, so assume I was supposed to pay a duty of 90,000 or 100,000. Then they end up giving the cargo to somebody who go and pay 10 or 15,000.
Does it make sense? Wait. So we'll go into it. Let's take time. You are the executive secretary of the Importers and Exporters Association of Ghana.
Yes.
These concerns have not been raised for the first time today.
Well, we raised them
Maybe
several times.
It's getting worse. Fine. But how do you come in if you equally have the nation at heart to the extent that people confiscate goods, sell them lesser than the amount the importer wanted to pay? So it would have meant that people are profiteering from a regime that has been created for loopholes.
And I said that is the politicians who have done that. It's the politicians. Go and ask them, they know those that they give to. Who are those? Are they importers? No. They are party apparatuses.
Do you find time to track some of these confiscated items and where they land?
Oh, that is not part of my job. Ours is to raise issues that give the cargo to the importer. Even if you have to advocate that, I think going forward we should advocate. If the person brings the cargo and he doesn't have the money immediately to pay, you should be able to find ways in the system, release the cargo to the person go and sell, and you collect the duty. Then what is happening, isn't it? Then that instead of the person to pay 100,000, you've given it to somebody at 20,000 or 15,000. You have not made good to the country. Is that not it? So why wouldn't they give to me and find ways for me to have my data so that I can sell my cargo and come to pay? Or if it's about 15,000 or 20,000 you're giving to somebody, why don't you give to the importer? At least he will recoup his capital. Because if you give to somebody who has no relation with the cargo, you've killed the spirit of such an importer. Assuming you are a first-timer who is going to bring your cargo, and because you are running health tasks to get money to come, government to come and pay, before you get there, they say it's been sold.
How different is this from Togo, Freeport, from Monrovia, Freeport? I don't know much about Cote d'Ivoire. How different is it? Because we've heard recently that a lot of businesses are relocating to some of these areas.
Yes, because even Ghanaians importers are now diverting their cargo to Togo and find ways to bring it into the country. Tax should be compliant, should be said that everybody can comply. Why would my duty is 35% when average cost here is 20%? Why can't we say, okay, let us go back and make it reasonable so that if the person still wants to steal, we get you to show a scapegoat. And is that not it? If your average cost is very close to us, Togo is closer, Togo is a free port. How do they do that? Not that they don't pay you. Togo, they pay. But you clear the cargo. As soon as your cargo land, you clear the cargo. Probably you sell, then you pay. So until we have to learn. Other than that, we will losing the cargo. Importers can look. The duty rate in this country is is not
let me look at, because I don't know how involving your associations are, either Ghana Shippers Authority or the Importers and Exporters Association of Ghana or Freight Forwarders or the related agencies. I don't know how involving you are when it has to do with the with the tax regime at the port, the conversations or the inputs you make. Now, I will share on the screen some of these taxes, and in your opinion, which ones you think is not necessary or government could have considered. Now, apart from VAT, NHIL, we have the special import levy, we have the inspection fee, network charge on GCNet, that's the free on-board charges, ECOWAS levy, EDIF levy, Ministry of Trade and Industry, destination inspection fees,
someone asked that
import declaration fee as well.
GCNet is no more there. Why is that fee still there? It should have gone off. 1%, 2% special import levy. No, you know it used to be 1 and 2, 3%, and they abolished the 1%, and they brought the COVID-19 back, so it is brought back to the port again. The 2% special import levy was supposed to go off from the books since 2018, 2017, 2018. It should have gone off. But still, government continued extending it.
What does
do you know AU levy, which is 2 point something, right?
Right.
Why wouldn't they take it from consolidated account? Why would they pass it on to the importer? You see, there are so many taxes the government gets imposed on the business community.
Have you ever questioned the Ministry of Trade and Industry destination inspection fees before?
Even the
have you questioned the ECOWAS levy before? Have you questioned the AU import levy before? Because these are charges slapped on your imports or exports, and I and my parents or my relatives or friends will end up paying because you pass on the cost to us.
My brother, if you sit here and your president went to AU meeting and they said Ghana is a signatory to AU, a member to AU state, so Ghana government is supposed to bring this X amount as part of your membership subscription. And the president came back and asked his finance minister to go to parliament and rectify it. It's an international convention and implement it at the port. Who am I? Who is Asake?
So why are you complaining that our taxes are more than that of Togo?
The only thing I can say is to tell Mr. President that the Ghanaian tax, the Ghanaian importer is overburdened. And if you keep on compiling them with taxes upon taxes, what is going to happen is that you are going to breed corruption, because they will find their ways and means to cheat the system. Because he has to be in business. He has to be in business. And so every nonsense tax is going to the port there. Every nonsense tax. Look at ECOWAS is there, look at EU is there. So anytime government need money, COVID-19, even countries that COVID-19 has come, which country do you see them introducing tax? Which country? I said others are even giving rebate. Our VAT support to even come down. In January 2021, 2022, 2022, right?
Right.
The GRA started casing our people that, look, we have amended the 3% flat rate to standardize. So any of you who businesses annual turnover is more than 500,000, we are pulling you to standardized tax. Forgetting that during November, December, someone had negotiated with his supplier to supply him cargo goods from January to December 2022. In that negotiation, when he was negotiating to procure the goods for every month continuous supply, he made them to understand, look, in my country, I'll pay this certain amount of VAT.
Of a certain rate.
And when I'm going to sell, I'm going to invoice at 3% plus 1, 4%. Get for you to January, February, then GRA tells you that we have amended the act in 2021, and we have gazetted it in 31st December 2021, and so we are implementing it. You can imagine, how will you go back to tell that your supplier that things have changed? So you are eating into the person what? Profit by force. We are not even making profit with this city depreciation, with this inflation. We are not even making profit. However, they put it on our neck. We resist. Not that we don't talk you. Who speaks in this country more than me about importing and export issues? Who? Tell me. You'll be hearing, every day you'll be hearing issues from my office. And so I can tell you, it's not like we are quiet or we are deaf and dumb, but that is where the government Not only that, we also have shipping lines putting on unwarranted charges on us. Even with that, we have even raised. We are thinking that the government will even give us courtesy to say, oh, why would someone pay freight to bring the cargo to Ghana, and I pay the freight, and I give you my box, and when they come to get to Ghana, I've gone through custom procedure to go and clear my cargo. I have to come to you, the carrier, the shipping line, who bring my container, for you to get print A4 sheet to confirm that the container really belongs to, the cargo really belongs to Asake. That alone, I should pay 8,000. Your local handling charges, look, 8,000 Ghana cedis. That's what is happening. 7,000, 6,000 in this country. We kept on asking. We don't know which ministry that we can go to be able to call the shipping line. But all these are your charges. This is your local handling charge. Anytime, right now that the inflation rate have gone to about 31.7, they have, where they used to collect a charge 5,000, it has moved to 7,000. Where they used to charge about 6,000, it has moved to 8,000. You go to the shipping lines, Mexico line, Grimaldi line, all the shipping lines, they have increased their local handling charge. After they collect, so the point is, the ship owner is sitting in Europe. He has appointed you to be the rep, to be the agent representing him. He has called them a freak. Can't he make remittance to take care of your day-to-day operations?
But don't we belong to international organizations where you seem to have an umbrella body that is giving you some support to put pressure on government if that regime is not the best within the sub-region?
So must we bring international down when our Minister of Trade knows that this cannot happen, this does not happen everywhere in the country?
So you
in the world,
you will fold your arms. Is that what you are saying?
When we put this before our Minister of Transport, to the extent that, I mean 2021, you remember there was this course called Port Additional Dues,
right?
Which we raised the issues. Then we went to Minister of Transport. In that meeting, Minister of Transport directed the Shippers Authority boss to write a letter to the shipping lines to ask them to stop sometime February 2021, or is it July 2021? Till then, the shipping lines, they told the CEO of Shippers Authority that they don't take instructions from them.
Are you in business, or you are an association working for the interest of your members, or you are also in there profiteering? Not you specifically, but the bodies involved in business at the port.
If you say profiteering, I don't understand. We are in business to take care of the country. Without the importer, I told you earlier, there would have been crisis in this country. With this global crisis, have you heard that Ghana short of food? Well, you are very much aware how much a maize is costing. A bag of maize is costing. Without our importers, Ghana may have also become like Sri Lanka.
Sri Lanka.
Sri Lanka, yes.
All right.
So I can tell you.
I'll come back to you. My guest tonight is Samson Asake Ahainyo. He's the Executive Secretary of the Importers and Exporters Association of Ghana. Our topic is port business challenges, cartel-driven or state-sponsored. I'm receiving lots of messages, and some people working around the port are suggesting that private individuals, including public and civil servants, politicians, and people in business, Ahainyo's kind of people, they are making about 20 to 30% money that is going into private pocket as far as the port business is concerned. I shared with you the 2020 state ownership report, and the GPHA alone made as much as 1.4 billion cedis in 2020. And then in 2019, they made a little above 1.3 billion cedis.
GPHA is a landlord. So if you bring you charter a ship and you come, you pay what we call port occupancy dues. In fact, even with MPS expansion project, it has brought the number of days ship occupy lesser days, like turnaround time within 3 to 2 days.
Has been shortened.
Yes, it has been shortened.
Because I saw a report in which the GPHA, for example, was saying that because of the negotiations that delayed with the MPS, that's on the 20% services that was supposed to be given to them, it affected the revenues that they were expecting around that period.
Exactly.
We'll be taking a short break. When we come back, we want to find out from our guest, Samson Asake Awengobit, if he's worried that so much money is going into private pocket, and if he knows some of those who are indeed involved in this business of taking advantage of the law or the acts in the books that they use to operate, and then use their discretion to do the undervaluation, confiscate items, or auction them to another group whose business is to wait for some of these things. And then we'll also be looking at recommendations on the way forward as to the tax regime and how things can be done differently. Just watch some excerpts of facts I've put together, and then after the break, we'll continue our conversation.
The average human body mass should have at least 60% water for optimal performance in any physical or mental exercise. We can help you maintain it naturally. X Natural Mineral Water. Simply natural.
Best Wine is your one-stop wholesale and retail outlet for all your original favorite brands of wine, liquor, champagne at unbeatable prices. You can get discounts of up to 15% off. We provide customized solutions for your events with our event planning and catering services. Buy your well-stocked hampers from us at great prices. Best Wine is also a major distributor of ex-natural mineral water. Locate us at number 34 Ni Norte Nyanchi Street, Jowulu, or call 050-761-3900 for delivery or for more inquiries. Best Wine, caliber of wine and liquor at its best.
Welcome to Auto Check Vehicle Diagnostic and Licensing Center.
I hear my car can be checked here without going to so many hour crack.
Sure.
Emission, check.
Alignment, check.
Brakes, check.
Visit AutoChecks at Koforidua Aquadum Road for the roadworthiness of your vehicle, from saloon cars to heavy-duty industrial vehicles. Madam, your car is now ready for the road.
Thank you so much. Auto checks.
Check.
AutoChecks, your safety, our priority.
Welcome to the Royal Dazzle Event Center. With a lush and well-maintained lawn and garden, you are assured of the best serene and comfortable atmosphere to organize all your family and social events.
Welcome back. I told you earlier my guest is Samson Asaki Awinkobe. It is the Executive Secretary of the Importers and Exporters Association of Ghana. Now, let me come back to you on one quick subject before we even move on to the issues about the cartels or those who may be deliberately creating this regime for them to steal from the state. You recently addressed the media and you made reference to wheat imports.
Yes.
And the understanding I had from that press conference was that people are bringing these goods to Ghana from Cote d'Ivoire and they were threatening the milling industry. What really is the issue?
Thank you. So before I take that one, let me tell you, this cartel at the port that you're talking about, it's not that the government is not aware of them. The government is aware, very deeply involved. Go and find out, go interview the Commissioner General of Ghana Revenue Authority. Ask him how does he do the allocations of auctioning. Ask him Mr. Da, Reverend Mr. Da. Because, look, so far as I'm aware, auctioning in this country, I have never seen auction done at the Commissioner General office. Commissioner, I know Commissioner during Mr. Blanson's time to Kofi Nti time, we have never heard that Commissioner General have hijacked auctioning into his office. So, the special minister, he has a lot of work to do. You should go and ask the Commissioner General of Ghana Revenue Authority that how does he do the auctioning? How did he allocate the auction? If he doesn't get the answer correct, he should go to the Minister of Finance office or the Deputy Ministers and find out. Or he should go to the Jubilee House.
Why are you asking him to ask those people the
Yes,
questions?
because they are the people doing the auctioning. They are doing the auctioning. And they know the people. They are not giving to Asake. They are not giving. I have not seen any day that they say, oh, you are the Executive Secretary. We are giving you a reefer container or tomato paste or cooking oil. It is the party apparatus. They take.
How pathetic is the story of the average importer or exporter?
It's very pathetic. So it's very pathetic. But you say we'll deal with it in the light. So to your question, there's smuggle of, or there's influx of flour into this country that is not written in language that you and I can be able to stick it, identify, no, this is X water, is made from this place, we have standards authority, or we have FDA badges on them. But it's found itself into the market here, in French. During the COVID-19, Ivory Coast realized that there was global crisis. Oh, no, during this Russia-Ukraine crisis, there's global phenomenon that there's crisis, there's hunger and stuff. So they gave a special rebate, tax rebate to their manufacturers. First and foremost, you import the wheat before you fly,
turn it to flour.
You mail it. So they have reduced their taxes and told them that they should produce.
So they were thinking smart.
Yes, they should produce to consume domestically. Because it's cheaper, because they've given them certain tax relief. They know if they produce cheaper, they will want to smuggle it. So they said, don't take it anywhere. But it found its way to our market here. And our people who bring the wheat and pay so much duties and taxes come and produce at this high utility. I'm sure you heard that by 1st September, we'll start paying another utility tariff. Even though the PURC says that the industries will not pay so much. But they are already, the industry are even walloping with utility tariff in this country. So, you get it? The one that is already in the existence, they are crying. So all these people will go under these operations to produce. You get to the market and you met with influx of flour. So we draw the government attention. And thankfully, one of the media houses from there, they went to the market that day. I think TV3, City TV. They went to the market, and the market women confirmed that the product that I put before them are actually coming. Who bring them? How do they come to this country? We have Tema Pot, Takrari Pot, Elibo, Aflao, and Sampa, and the rest. But this is where we have custom.
And they come in large quantities.
We come in large quantities. And so it is crippling our people. And that's why. Not only that, if rice too is there. You go to the Sampa area, rice, influx of rice. Because people are paying 20% import duty at Ivory Coast. So they find their ways to bring it here. Because if you bring it through our port, it's 35. So if the government were to be very sensitive, very smart, they would have just reduced. You are very close to Ivory Coast. You have also
so it means that naturally,
to make it competitive,
the milk I buy, because about 70 to 80% of what we consume in this country are import-based. And so the narrative suggests that we could have been paying far lesser. So many things we are buying today are much more expensive.
It's because of the duty component and taxes.
Now, I came back to the same question. How pathetic is the cry of the average businessman around the port, especially when the confiscation regime appears to be expanding and people don't care about the consequences to the investor?
I said to the extent that some, you see, they are following certain particular product. The gold mining things is what I made mention. Oil, tomato paste, mackerel, frozen chicken. They are just parade themselves.
Because they move fast.
And you know the annoying thing? The annoying thing is that you will go and buy it cheaper and then come back to an importer and say, I got this to buy. Take and give me money.
They confiscate.
Because our people are fail to distribute it.
They confiscate, fail to take what the importer would have given, sell it at a cheaper rate, and then the business people who are who are faceless end up selling it back to the importers. Is that what you are saying?
They will go, they will get their allocation, they will come for it, and they will turn around and sell it to the frozen food people to buy from them. Because they don't have warehouse or cold stores to go and keep it.
This is serious.
They don't have cold stores. They don't have stores in the market. They'll go and buy it cheaper and bring it because that is where the mastermind.
What is national?
So anytime it is
what is national security doing at the port?
But if they say it's auction, what can national security do? What can they do? They can only write their report to say that, well, this container should have cost this amount, but the person who bought it at a cheaper price. That's they can only do reports.
Now, what they are seeing, there's a report here. Now, this report,
if it's auction to you and you buy it,
this report was in May 2019. Dr. Mahamadou Baumia was at the Tema Port,
Okay.
there was something they call town hall meeting. I want to quote 2 paragraphs from the conversations that took place at the meeting.
Okay.
It says, paperless port policy phase 2, among other things, had reduced the cost of doing business by 75%. For instance, the cost of doing business, which used to cost importers 1,280 at the time, had been reduced to 320 cedis. How real or how true is this?
That one he's talking about, you know, before paperless or before these icons and things, if you used to process to that lead to clearing of the cargo or to take your delivery of your cargo from the port, it used to take like 5 days, 6 days, 7 days. You know, whilst it's sprang like that, you are spending more. But with this paperless, as soon as you enter the BOE, you attach all the necessary documents, the custom officer that will do the classification and evaluation are satisfied with all what you have, the information you feed them. Within 1 hour or 2 hours, you can get the BOE, the tax bill ready to go and pay. So it has reduced. And if you go to the port, to the process that will lead for you to take your cargo on time is also real. So within 2 to 3 days, you can clear your cargo.
So where does the human interface breed this cartel business?
Well, definitely, if you are working with people that in Ghana, there's nowhere you go and they will not say port libation or cooler. Is that not it? That was why he said he was moving the center from Tema to Accra so that we don't see each other. That can cut down. And you remember, it's not the same vice president who came back to tell us he heard there's Momo flying. You remember? He heard there's Momo flying for people to be able to get their BOU on time. Stuff like that. So there's so many ways of dealing with corruption. I'm even pity that the special prosecutor, if he will be able to do his work. Because there are so many ways. He has picked long room from Tema to Accra. But he was able to understand that before your BOE come quickly, you must mumbo before you can get your work. So I think now, these days, we are not hearing that complaint again because of when the vice president spoke. I'm sure they put things in place, so I'm not be hearing those complaints again.
How can we change this paradigm shift?
Well, the special prosecutor says he's going to do his investigation.
He's going to investigate
exactly
up to I think June 2016
and bring
all the auctions that were done up to date.
I'm sure he'll bring his report. The challenge I foresaw is that there was, when there was GCNet and ICOM taking over, there was a lot of data. Because they didn't have any data. They have lost the data. That one was lost because there was talk of war. Because GCNet should hand over the data. GCNet says the data, they don't have any, the data belongs to Customs. So Customs have it. Customs said they don't have it. So when ICOM came, they were now running. That was why they introduced that illegal thing, that Benjamin value something, that you bring your value and they will lift it. Because they didn't have any previous data to compare.
So you are suggesting that the special prosecutor is likely to go on a wild goose chase?
I'm telling you, he's going to. I don't know how they are going to treat. They are going to treat that. So the ordinary Ghanaian importer is suffering. I don't know. But you hear the Gutta people saying that they have, because look, it is not easy. It is completely hard times. People have to adjust prices. Packaging power of Ghanaians are not also there. I don't know if they've been, since the inflation rate and the city depreciation, where it has gone to, I don't know if your employer has increased your salary every month or every 3 months like that. But that's
not possible in Ghana.
Good. So that's where we find ourselves. And you go and bring your cargo and they auction it. When the auction, even the law said that after the auction, a percentage should be given to the importer. Nobody gets.
You see, a lot of people listening to you will be wondering how influential or coordinated all the various agencies doing business at the port are putting your might together. Because if you throw your arms in the air and it appears as if you can't mount pressure and get things done rightly, then I should be worried as an individual.
When you say we can't mount pressure, what do you mean by we can't mount pressure? We mount pressure.
But you know all the problems. You know all the problems. All you are doing is complaining. You are not telling me what you have done to actually put pressure, get things done right.
It is, if the importer brings his or her cargo, and he has not been able to pay the duty, he has not been taking delivery, and it goes on clear cargo list, and the importer comes to me to say, look, I have my money, I'm going to pay, but but they say it has gone on clear cargo list, I can go to the Commissioner of Custom and tell him that, look, you have to restore it back so that the person can pay the duty. You go to Custom and Custom will tell you they don't have power unless you go to Commissioner. By the time the importer will be running helter skelter, we let it go to get Commissioner to restore it. It will be too late. By the time you say you get even restoration, you get to the harbour, the container is gone. You go by the hotel, oh, they will get some for you. Nothing will come. What can I do? Am I the Commissioner General of Ghana Revenue Authority? I can only, you can help, it's you the media who will help us to talk about our issues. And that there was only for you bringing me here. If this is pressure, I'm putting pressure on the government.
Do you think this
cartel... I let the government, the predicament of the business community in this country, telling government that, look, when Africa is giving tax rebate for their business community under this global crisis, you have not done anything. Do something to them so that they don't find ways and means and bring the cargo to the market without paying duty and taxes. I guess all the Ghanaians are diverting their cargo to Togo and find ways and means.
I want you to speak to the camera. If you were to make a passionate appeal to the president or the finance minister, whoever is involved in business around the port, what would you say?
Oh, things are falling apart. I'm not quite sure what can the finance minister do. Can the finance minister... I would want the finance minister to... How many times did the finance minister came to parliament to do budgetary, mid-year budget review or main budget that we've been asking that he should abolish some of the taxes for us, that they rather come to increase taxes for us. So now that the government is running to IMF, which you think is going to come with more conditionalities, you think if I tell the government today that they should go and reduce import duty, they will listen to me, Asake. Even the government needs more money. This is where we find ourselves. I strongly believe that this special levy import duty tax is there, supposed to be abolished. This VAT, currently, right now, as we are suffering, you are talking about implementing VAT 90.2%. The importer only have a claim of 12.5%. There's a cost element of 6%. We are saying the government should absorb it, so that at least, especially for food commodities, food, medicine, petroleum products, so that it will come down. Government need more money. Even if they get me as I to sell an art, they will take me and sell an art. So I don't know what you are telling me to go and tell finance minister. When the finance minister was taking about 20%, 30% benchmark values away, and we said it's going to create panic. It's going to lead to up adjustment of prices of goods. He thought I was lying. That's why every day now you go to the market today, you get a different price. Tomorrow you go to the market, you get different price. So it is Ghanaians must all together ask me to put pressure. I alone cannot put pressure on the government. All what I can do is to tell my people that increase your price. And that was why I issued a statement 3 weeks ago that prices will go by 40%. Because we can't go and pay so much huge taxes and tariff and duty, and then we come to the market and we will reduce our prices. How can we be in business with this 31.7% with this 22 prime rate? Do you know how much bankers are now going to lend? It means if you had, with this 22 prime rate now, it means if you were having a loan running with the bank will call you back to readjust. Do you know that? They will have to readjust. Other than that, they will think that by the time you pay for this, the money will not be valued again for them. That is the pressure we had ourselves. That's why Gutta is saying that Monday they are closing down their stores.
You support that.
Oh, but you remember I said this, I issued a statement long ago that the long suffering of the business community is as a result of Gutta people. I told you that Gutta pampered the government. Gutta is pampering the government since the government came to 2017. Every day they are just pampering the government, and the government is helping killing down the business community. The taxes upon taxes. President Akufo-Addo assured us that they were going to move from taxation to production. Ghana beyond aid. Today, are we not running to IMF? Is IMF not an aid? Ghana beyond aid. Because of that, there are a lot of NGOs formed up in this country. We won't go to IMF today, we won't go out in parliament. You need to see my friend, Honorable John Kuma. You need to see the finance minister say he will not go to IMF. You need to see President Akufo-Addo going around and say Ghana beyond aid. And today we are going back to IMF. What can I say to the government? This government have lost touch with the business community. They have total lost touch with the business community. The business community are not happy. The business community in 2016 that was crying
They had money to support the MPP to come to power. Today, go and ask those people. They have regretted. So when I heard Gutta made a press conference 2-3 days ago and said they'll close, I said they are crying wolf. They are crying wolf. Because I saw this and I told them, when people's sales were dropping by 40% month by month, from January 2022 till now, I told them, I made a statement. And I said sales was dropping by 40% each month. Go and ask business people, they'll tell you. If you have a friend tomorrow, Makola or Kansi or a Doom Kumasi, ask them. They'll tell you consistently, beginning of this year, and every day, finance minister is putting in taxes on us. They told them they were coming to make an enable environment and let business people flourish.
I can imagine your frustration.
So if you ask me to what I should tell the finance minister, I have lost confidence in the finance minister. I have lost confidence in the government, and so for me, I think I backed away from the government long ago.
Okay, Samson Asaki Awingobit is the Executive Secretary of the Importers and Exporters Association of Ghana. He has been very blunt at the tail end of the conversation. You can feel the frustration. Brace yourself to pay more, because he has given the indication that from next month, when we begin to feel the impact of the cost of doing business being transferred to us, then you can imagine that you are probably going to suffer more until things turn around. Let's pray for Ghana. My name is Ahainyo. We'll do this again next week. Tomorrow, between 1 and 2 p.m., you can watch the repeat of this program. Thanks, and I'm grateful for your patience.